Hey guys, welcome to video number 3 in the kitchen table stamper spruced up mega stamp stack. We are making a stack of 15 cards. There is an optional spruced up mega stamp stack class packet available. Check out kitchentablestamper.com/shop. On the right hand menu, there's going to be a little filter drop down to class packets, and you'll be able to see if there's any of these still available. We're featuring the spruced up bundle, and of course, with these packets, you can substitute any images you want, and that is okay. But we're doing our mega stamp stack with spruced up. Our first video was Happy Christmas. Our pack makes 3 of this design. We're gonna do Merry Christmas next. There are 2 more designs in this series, Happy Christmas and Merry Christmas, and these are all 4 of each, to total 15 cards with this stamp stack. And I think they're bold and exciting with this black and pop of colors. We've got the designer series paper to thank for that. It's the Celebrate Everything designer series paper, and we cut our paper in the getting started video. You should check out that video for all the details on how to cut your designer series paper if you want your cards to look exactly like mine. These are 1.5 inch squares. There's 4 different patterns of the designer series paper, the Celebrate Everything designer series paper. We also did our inside liners in that video, and we did our outside liners with this awesome Merry Melody embossed. Your kit includes all of your card bases. They're 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. All the cardstock to line the outside with the embossed panel, to line the inside with the greeting panel, to each of the Celebrate Everything designer series papers. We do the die cutting for you for these simple shapes. This square, if you're cutting your own kit, is the second largest one from the Stylish Shapes dies. Let's go ahead and adhere the inside greeting panel and the outside embossed panel, and then we'll be right where we left off on the getting started video. I did the getting started video for this particular stamp stack because there's just so many cards, but we can make them very quickly and very efficiently by batch working and doing kind of production line style work. And so that's what we did. We took the kit and cut all these 4 by 5 1/4 inch panels and embossed them basic black, and then we cut the 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 basic white panels and stamped the greeting inside, same for all the cards using our Stamparatus. So check out that video if you missed it. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna adhere our designer series paper. So what I like to do for this particular one is just add some glue. You can use a multi-purpose liquid glue like I'm using, or you can use your different runners, your tape runners, snails, the Seal Plus, Fast Fuse. You can do a line of dry adhesive if you like. We're just going to toggle these gorgeous designer series papers down along our border here. And I like the multi-purpose liquid glue because I can go ahead and I can just shift all these a little bit, toggle them, slide them, get them where I like them, and then burnish them down into the adhesive. All right, next we're going to take that basic white square and get that glued up on top. Now we've got all of our bits glued down, nothing to lose. Let's go ahead and do some stamping and die cutting next. All right, so your kit included some basic white cardstock half sheets. The first thing you did was cut your liners. The next thing you're gonna do is stamp all of your images if you're doing this stamp a stack style. We'll stamp each thing that we need for each card as we go. But if you're stamping a stack, you might want to calculate up all the trees that you're going to stamp, all the presents that you're going to stamp, all of the ornaments that you're going to stamp, and just do it all at one time. Then die cut them all at one time. It'll make these cards go in a breeze. All right, we've got our ink here. I have Poppy Parade, Pacific Point, and Granny Apple Green. Got the large and small trees. Now this makes 4 of this design, so you want to do 4 large, 4 small. and then 4 of each color present. But for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna do 1 of each. I've got my other ones already done. I like to go through these packets and actually do the videos from one of the packets. I just grab one that I would have normally sent out to you. And that way I know that everything is there. No pieces are missing. You have enough of everything, and that you are gonna be as successful as possible with the kit. So that's why that's one of the peeks behind the curtain, one of the methods behind the madness at Kitchen Table Stamper. All right, so we did a Pacific Point present. Let's go ahead and wipe that off and do the Poppy Parade next. I do like to do my warm colors after my cooler colors, although Pacific Point does have a surprising amount of like a purpley pink pigment in it. But if you go light color, or if you go cool colors, then warm colors, you'll get cleaner images, fresher colors, more true colors, because the cool color pigments are smaller and therefore they're easier to clean away from your stamps. All right, so we've got our presents, our trees. The next thing I'm going to do is cut these down a little bit smaller so they'll go through the die cut machine easier. So I'm just going to cut these away. We're going to die cut them in just a minute, but we'll die cut them with the other images from the die set. And let's switch ink pads. We're going to do a little more stamping here too. I've got Versamark ink and some white embossing powder. I always transfer my embossing powder into these little disposable, I don't know, reusable, but disposable. They're not expensive little containers. You can pick them up at your discount store. And I like it because we can work entirely in the tub. We don't have to sprinkle powder out of the jar and then corral it back up and funnel it back in. So I'm going to take a piece of basic black, and I've got my buddy here, and we're going to very lightly swipe with the buddy. What the buddy does is cuts the static and cuts the oil from your fingers and helps you get a cleaner emboss. We're going to do Christmas, and we're doing this ransom style. So we'll do Christmas. Now we're going to do Mary, and I think I can do Mary this way, and then I can do Mary this way, and I think I can get all those little ransom note greetings out of there. Now see, this is what I mean about my little canister. I can go ahead and just tap off on the edge after I scoop the powder over the image. So I'll just make sure everybody's fully covered, and then I go in the back and flick off the excess. I know there are lots of stampers that say no flicking, but I don't mind flicking. I've got a little blank spot on my C for Christmas there, and I'll just use whichever Christmas looks nicer when I heat it, but the A did all right. Doesn't look like the C did as well. All right, I'm going to take the stylus end of my take your pick tool and just make sure that any little flecks of powder that I think are going to dry and make my image look spotty are cleared away. And then I'm going to grab a clothespin, hold on to this with a clothespin, and clear away my Stampin' Pierced mat. You've got to be very careful with your heat tool. It does generate a lot of heat, and it could melt something like a Stampin' Pierce mat. So watch your surface. Use your clothespin. It'll keep your fingers from burning. We're just going to go ahead and heat this. All right, once these are all heated, we're going to cut them out ransom note style. If you need to, let it cool just a little bit before you cut. And the idea with the ransom note style is just cut out your greeting. Cut it close and don't overthink it. You will get better results if you just trust yourself and cut. All right, everybody's trimmed out, and we're gonna add some dimensionals to the back. I've got some black dimensionals, and we're gonna add one on the far side of Christmas, and then on the back of Mary and Mary. And we're gonna set them aside for a second because we've got some die cutting to do. Let's put them with our sample here. We've got some trees outlines, the shaded spruce, and some stars to do. In your kit is a half a sheet of shaded spruce and a half a sheet of crushed curry. Of course, I've used some by now. And you've got to decide, do you want to do your stars, like I have them here, bumped up? Or do you want to do your stars on the top of the trees like I have them here, flat? If you are going for ultra quick, then a little bit of adhesive sheet on the back of this crushed curry is going to give you peel and stick stars. So what I like to do is I like to take my adhesive, I've got it cut into the almost the thirds that Stampin' Up divides it into. I like to use the little strips, and I like to be very careful to use all of my adhesive if possible. I don't like to throw any away on scraps. So I'm going to take a bit, and I don't need much for these stars, so I'm just going to lay a little strip on the back of my crushed curry, burnish that down, and then I'll cut it away. What I'll do is from this side, cut it away here. That's trash. And then from this side, cut it away here. And now I've got the perfect self-adhesive size to cut some stars. We're going to do the same thing with the spruce. We're going to add a little adhesive to the back of the perfect size to cut. And so in this case, we did 3 of them already at this large tree, and we just went straight across the back. So for the next one, I'm going to just add my strip about as wide and tall as I think my tree is going to be, and then cut that away. Now my little doodly star and tree outline will be peel and stick. And to make this go through the machine, the die cut machine easier, I'm going to go ahead and cut away some of the excess here. I like to fit as many things on the machine as I can in one pass. Because my outline is a different color than my stamp tree, it's going to take 2 passes. I've got my small tree and my presents. The nice part is Stampin' Up gave us 2 of these little present dies, so we can get 2 out of every pass. And I'm going to go ahead and line this up, cut, and then I'll line up again and cut the big tree the second time. On this video for this card, I'm going to do my small stars without any peel and stick adhesive because I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back. So there's another skinny little strip of crushed curry. Then I'll add the small stars to this little strip. And now I have a peel and stick for my doodly star, and I can add Stampin' dimensionals to my small stars. Here's our second pass with our second tree. One thing I want to show you about this is we've got a spruce tree and a spruce outline. Now we've got a stamped tree. We're going to use the stamped and the spruce outline. But then in the die, we have a white outline here. Go ahead and just pop this guy out. I would put both of these right back into my stamp set because now we've got this green and white little layered combo that we can use later on in another design if we like. So save those pieces. They'll come in handy for another design. All right, our little peel and stick star, presents, and smaller tree. Let's get our card back in here. All right, here's our card and our sample back in there. I'm going to peel and stick this little layer here, and you're just going to run your thumb along the side. Look at that, and it just will lift right off. I love this peel and stick. I'm very proficient with liquid glue and can do that with liquid glue. So if you are a good gluer, then go for it. I'm going to add some liquid glue on the back of our large tree here and add that one. We're starting to create some depth in the fields here, so we'll add some dimensionals on our smaller tree. And keep using these regular size dimensionals and cutting them in half. I'm going to use half of minis for the stars on the top of these trees to give them a little bit of bump. The black dimensionals are a combo pack where you get both mini and regular. You get 2 sheets of each in the combo pack, and it really is pretty handy. It's nice for projects like these where you have a lot of black background and you don't want all those little white dimensional edges to show. It gives you a nice tidy product. And if you get the kit, you're going to get a little sample of these dimensionals in there, so you can give them a try in this kit. All right, so half of a mini, or you could make them peel and stick if you wanted to go a little bit quicker. Our peel and stick doodle heart or star, we'll just poke it out, and then we're going to flick it against the side of our thumb. When you see the paper start to peel back, you'll pull the cardstock one way and the release the other way, which weeds it out for you. No sitting there poking out all those little bits. Just peel and stick, add it to the top of the tree. We've done our Merry Mary. I'm going to start from the center of our greeting here and then build to the top. Oh, I think I got my angles backwards. Hold on. That's why I don't do a lot with triangles. I saw the angle, I see the angles opposite there. And then Christmas, we're going to peel the dimensional that we put on one side, add a dab of glue on the other side because our tree is already dimensional. I'm going to add that on a nice little angle. Got our sweet little present there. Let's add a dimensional on one and some liquid glue on the other. Again, we're just really working that depth of field. We're going to add Christmas. Our presents right underneath Christmas. Let's see here. Oh, don't cover your greeting. Don't burnish it down until you know. There it is. Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. Now, in your packet, you've got this little sheet of embellishments. We're going to tie a bow. I like to tie right on the card. I fold, I don't twist. I swoop over the top, tuck, pull, then hold the knot, and you can adjust the tails. If you get any twists, loop, swoop, tuck, and pull, and then adjust by holding the knot. And pull it nice and tight. Got a bow that you like. Trim away from the embellishment card. Fix the angle on the other end. I'm gonna get a mini glue dot here and add our bow at the corner of the square. I love it. I love all the patterns. That black and white just is really something different. This isn't gonna look like last year's Christmas cards, that's for sure. Now some pearls. These iridescent pearls are just gorgeous. They have a oil slick shine that makes them kind of an updated version of a classic. Just really cool with the black and white that we have going on here and the bold pop of color. Don't forget that you're going to make 4 copies of this card if you're doing the Stamp-A-Stack. There they are. All 4 of our Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas cards. If you missed video number 1, Happy Christmas. It'll be linked below. And I will be back again tomorrow with video number 4 in the series, our 3rd design, Happy, Happy, Happy Christmas. 3 happies and 3 ornaments. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.